Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm sorry if you can hear a load of noise. Someone's doing something to the house over the road from me. I can't do anything about it. It's it's just how it's gonna be. And I'm filming specifically today because it's a year today since my mum died. So I need something to do essentially, and I feel like this is a way of actually like processing it to a point and dealing with it while also doing something that counts as being productive and will also hopefully maybe help out some other people in a similar situation to not feel so alone. To go from the start, I think it was Easter of 2022 that I stopped talking to my mum. I went up to my mum's for Easter, had a big argument with her. She asked for her house key back and everything. And I went home and watched Doctor Who, and it was the Legends of the Sea Devils episode. So the day it aired is the day that I stopped talking to my mother, and I didn't speak to her again. One of the big things that led to me not speaking to her was an entire lifetime of abuse from her, for starters. But also, she had God, I think it was in 2020. You can find these videos, like everything that I'm talking about currently happened while I had a YouTube channel, so I made videos like as it was happening as well. But she'd been diagnosed with cancer, and it was a really fucking horrible time. We'd had maybe a year and a half of being like, she ain't right, like something ain't right here, just the way she's behaving, the way that her health is, like something ain't right. But she kept being told that she had a UTI and being given whatever you get given for a UTI, even though it really definitely wasn't. So we'd already had a variety of issues as a whole family, never mind specifically as mother and daughter, before the whole cancer diagnosis happened. And then I'm finding out my mum has cancer. I'm having to be the person that goes to appointments with her. It was during COVID, so she was only allowed to have one visitor at a time. And my brother decided that had to be me. My much older brother, my 9 years older than my brother, decided that had to be me that was going in and doing all the socialising and all the talking to doctors and all the like caring for my mother, because he drove me to the hospital. Now the hospital was maybe in bad traffic a 20-minute drive. On a bad day, like the most time that it took was 20 minutes, and it would have taken me over an hour on public transport. But because he drove me, that meant that I had to do all the rest. So I did, like it's my mum and she's in hospital with cancer. I'm going to do whatever the fuck what's required of me, So I did, and it was fucking hard, but I did it. And like treatment started. She had pretty major brain surgery to remove the tumour that had I can never say the word metastatized. She had bowel and lung cancer, and then a tumour had moved from one of those to be in her brain. And that was the first major surgery that she had, was to open up her brain and take that out. And I was always the carer of my family, essentially. I cared for my dad up until he died. I cared for my nan for multiple times for extended periods. So my brother just turned to me and was like, there you go, you're good at this, aren't you? And I was like, no, this is the worst period of my life. I've just broken up with my 8-year-long relationship. My mum has cancer. I'm having to try to find a place to move while also having to come up here to see my mum and brother every single day, so that I can help my mum to wash, so that I can help her sort her hair, so I can help her get dressed, so that we can figure out what she's eating. It was so much. And then she'd have friends over, and I'd be sat there listening to her talk about, oh, and my son does so much for me. My son is so amazing. My son is just the most incredible person in the world. He looks after me so well. My son, I don't know what I would do without him. He is the light of my life. My son is everything to me. And I'd just be sat there I've put off plans that I had today to come up here and make sure you're all right. I'm the one that's been having to go into the hospital during COVID, do all the fucking social stuff with the doctors. The whole fucking lot is me. And your son's the best person in the world. You're so lucky to have him. What would you do without him? So I'd had all the other stuff from the whole rest of my life, and then I had that as well. And it was really fucking wearing on me. I was just really struggling. I was really burnt out. And I hadn't accepted any sort of burnout because I couldn't. I couldn't be burnt out during that time. I had too much fucking to do, I needed to move. I needed to get out from living with my abusive ex. I needed to look after my mum. I needed to try to be a person and find some level of joy or happiness in my life because of all the other shit that was going on. It was just so fucking much. And then my mum had decided that we were doing our normal somewhat big thing for Easter. It was just a fucking meal. We just had a meal as a family, but she acted like it was a really big fancy deal. And I'm putting absolute all of my energy into trying to keep my mum happy, into trying to please her, trying to just make things fucking be nice, you know? So I ended up being really late. Like, I say that, I wasn't even really late. I was, what, like an hour late? And when I got there, it was just immediately an argument. And, like, I was an hour late because I was doing my makeup and trying to look nice for this big family meal. It, like, doesn't even actually fucking matter. But it just turned into a massive argument. And when she asked for the house key back was when I was like, oh, I'm not doing this. This is over. This is done, you know? Like, I was having to go up every single day, and now she wanted me to knock on the door and stand there and wait for her or my brother to let me in when they were probably out in the back garden smoking and probably wouldn't even hear me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, you know? I'd already had multiple points where I'd considered going no contact and been like, yo, I don't think my mum's nice to me. I don't think she, like, really behaves anything like a mother should, you know? And the older I got, the more that I experienced other people's parents and other family dynamics and was like, yo, like, this is horrible at the best of times, and everything's just gotten even more horrible, and I have even more expectation on me to, like, be the perfect daughter and do everything that I'm supposed to for her. No. You know, like, I feel fucking guilty about it, and it's one of those things that I don't really talk to people about because it is a case of like, oh yeah, I just abandoned my mum while she was dying of cancer, but I, first off, didn't know she was dying. She'd been given pretty good chances. Secondly, I don't want to look after someone who's never fucking looked after me, you know? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I'm not doing this whole, like, payback thing when I don't have anything to pay back. Like, no. I'm not I gave up, like, a year of my life to look after my dad and to try to make sure that he was okay while he just put no fucking effort into trying to help himself. I wasn't doing it again. No. And I will give, that decision might have been different if I'd known she was going to die 2.5 years later. I'm going to laugh in this video because I'd either laugh or cry. An emotion is going to happen to me and I refuse to cry on video. So I am going to laugh, but I'm not actually finding anything funny, okay? So I got a message on, like, how it must have been like the 12th if she died on the 17th, which she did. It must have been around the 12th. I got a message from a family friend letting me know that she was in, like, a specific hospital, and I hadn't heard anything from her or anyone else in 2 years. So I did shit myself and I phoned the hospital and they were like, oh, she's been moved over to this place. And I found that online and I had a really good look at the website and I was like, I can't tell if this is like, come here and get your treatment, or if this is a come here to die kind of hospital, you know? So I had a friend at the time look over it and they agreed that, like, it didn't seem like a, like, she's here to die type of thing. I have no, like, resentment or bitterness towards that friend for that situation. I have many an issue with them for other things, but for that, like, there was no, like, I asked for their opinion and they gave me it and it was the same as mine. So, like, I'm not mad about that. What I am quite mad about is the fact that I fucking phoned them, and, like, y'all know how I don't do phone calls and phone calls are really difficult for me. And I phoned them to be like, hi, I'm such and such's daughter, how's she doing? And they were like, oh yeah, she's not too bad at the minute, she's not too bad. And I was like, okay, and she's going to be okay. And they were like, oh yeah, she's gonna be fine. So I just hung up. I just didn't, you know, like, she's gonna be fine. And then a few days later I got messages from, like, multiple people that my mother knew on Facebook letting me know that she'd just died. And I was like, oh, cool, nice. It especially bothered me that one of them did the whole, like, hey, she's just died if you even care. Like, fuck you, Carla. I know I don't name people normally in these videos, but Carla's an absolute bitch. My mum didn't even like her. She talks shit about her the moment she left every time anyway. And, like, why would you be a cunt while telling someone that their mother has just died? What the fuck is wrong? Oh, obviously, I was very upset. It was a very difficult day. And it was made more difficult by the fact that I reached out to my friends, as you fucking would, and one of my friends came over, and they kept just saying, like, I would have moments that I got upset because my mum had died that day, and they'd be like, oh, well, she was a bitch anyway, oh, well, she was never nice to you anyway, and I had to repeatedly, on the day that my mum had died, be like, can you stop saying horrible things about my mum? Can you stop saying my mum was a bitch anyway? Like, I know she wasn't fucking nice to me. I'm very aware of the fact that my mum wasn't fucking nice to me. But she has just died. And that does still actually upset me. And going, she was a bitch anyway, isn't actually fucking helping me. I was living with someone that I considered to be a friend at the time, and they'd gone away to, I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but they weren't, like, they'd gone away for a night. And I text them saying, like, just so you know, my mum's died kind of thing. And when they came back, they were just acting completely normal. And I was like, okay, like, I guess my mum dying isn't that big a deal, fair enough. And then they'd said something about how I, like, needed to cheer up or something. Like, they'd said something that, like, just would be a bit of a dig at the best of times. And I was like, well, my mum did die yesterday. And they were like, oh my God, what? And I was like, yeah, I did message you. It was actually quite difficult sitting there typing out the words, my mum just died. But I did let you know. Thank you. And they didn't believe me, and they fucking scrolled through their phone and, like, found the message, and they're like, it was only after they'd found the message that they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it's like, I remember fucking telling you that my mother had just died. Like, just go and find the message, fine. One of the people that had messaged me about it was my cousin, and I messaged her asking if she knew. I wanted to see my mum's body, basically. I really, really wanted to see my mum's body, and I didn't get to. My cousin just did not reply to me. I don't know why she bothered fucking messaging and being all nice to me just to completely blank me when I actually had a question, you know? But she did. So I didn't get to see my mum's body, and that still fucks me up a bit. It's one of those where part of me is like, I got enough messages from enough people that I know that my mum's dead. And I was also like, I think my cousin let me know when the funeral was going to be. I don't really remember. But, like, I have enough evidence that I know logically my mum's dead. But there is still a part of me every now and again that's like, are my family fucking with me? Is this all, like, some sick little joke to see what Dana will do if she thinks mum just died? Because, like, from talking to the doctors and stuff, I thought that she was going to recover and be okay. And I know that cancer, like, can go either way, obviously. But despite the evidence that I have, which, to be fair, is Facebook messages from people and not an awful lot, I still have the moments where I'm like, what if she's fine? What if she's just out there? What if this was just to fuck me up? What if this was just them realising, oh, it's been 2 years, Dana actually isn't going to talk to us again. Let's see what she does with this. Like, I don't think it is. Like, I don't actually logically think that is the case. I do think it is just that my mother is dead. But the fact that I didn't get any sort of closure, I didn't get to see her body, I didn't get to go to the funeral, I got no closure to any of it. It feels like she's just still out there to a point. Like, it doesn't entirely, like, it does feel like she's dead because I've done the crying and the oh my God, my mum's dead, I'm an orphan. But there's also a level to which, like, I didn't get any actual evidence or closure of that, you know? And I think the thing that I found difficult about grieving for her, and still find difficult, honestly, and the way that it, like, really varies from my dad, is that there's been so many times that, like, I want my dad, you know? Like, it's not all the time. Like, even when he was alive, I didn't have that many times that I was like, oh, I want my dad. But I had the odd time, and, you know, like, when I needed him while he was alive as a teenager and stuff, like, obviously he died when I was 18, but, like, when I had strong emotional reactions and was like, I need my dad, he reacted the way that I needed him to, you know? Like, he would comfort me, he would be nice to me, he would give me a big hug, he'd be like, let's talk about this, tell me how you feel, and validate the way that I felt when I told him for the most part. You know, like, when I want my dad, I want my dad. My dad. I want him. When I have the moments that I want a mum, I want a mum. I want someone else's mum. Even when my mum was alive and I was talking to her, when I wanted someone, it wasn't her. I knew full well, like the times that my abusive ex would kick me out in the middle of the night and be like, fuck off and go somewhere, and I would have to go to my mother's because I didn't have any friends. She wouldn't comfort me, she wouldn't validate me. I would show up at her house anywhere between, like, 9 p.m. and 2 a.m, sobbing, crying, sometimes I didn't even have time to get shoes on before you'd fucking lock the door. I would be barefoot, crying, and she'd be like, oh, well, what did you do to him? What have you done now? You know? Like, when I needed a mother, my mother wasn't the person that I needed. She didn't react kindly to me. She didn't give me the things that I needed. She wasn't a comfort. She wasn't nice to me. So a lot of the grieving for, like, her position in my life, I'd already had to do when I stopped talking to her. I'd already had to do the, like, I don't have anyone to phone that's going to make me feel better. I don't have anyone to phone to ask for advice. I don't have anyone, like, she's not that person anyway. The things that you would think of a mother doing, she, for the most part, didn't do anyway, you know? And she'd do the odd ones, and I would then follow along and love the validation and love, like, feeling like my mother wanted me, just to realise that it was like an image thing and it was to show other people how we were the perfect mummy daughter to fucking pairing. Like, it was never for me, you know? Like, she was never doing anything for me, ever. So I'd massive, like, I probably honestly cried more in the like 6 months after I stopped talking to her than I have in the entire year that she's been dead. Because I had to do the like, I'm never going to get the mother figure that I want. I'm never going to have the mother that makes me feel better. I'm never going to have the mother that comforts me. I'm never going to have the mother that I have this like bond and friendship with and can tell anything and whatever else. Like, already while she was alive and fine and right there while I was seeing her every single day, I already didn't have that. So I already had to like grieve and mourn not having that. And her dying didn't feel like that big of a thing in regards to like me having a mum, you know? The thing that fucks me up with my mum dying is that she was a whole person. I probably should have said this part at the beginning, like, if you're still here, good for you. But the thing that's fucked me up with it is that I thought my mum died on like the 22nd or 23rd. Like, in my little head, my thought was that she died on the 20-something, probably the 22nd or 23rd. And then last night, this morning, at like 2 a.m, I was outside having a smoke and I was playing one of my little mobile games and I had this just like flashback to the way that my mum would sit at the table in Denmark with her computer and play that fucking Bubble Witch Saga game on Facebook. And like, it's moments like that, you know, I've long accepted that I don't get to have a mum, and that's fine, that's just the way it is, that's life. I liked knowing that she was still out there just doing the things that she did and being the person that she was, you know? Like, she wasn't good to be my mother, she wasn't good for me, but I didn't want her to stop being out there, you know? So yeah, I just like had this sudden flashback and started absolutely bawling, and then I was like, wait a fucking minute, and I went and checked my Facebook messages because I don't use Facebook Messenger, so the ones from the day that she died are still fairly close to the top, and it is indeed today that she died. And it's one of those where like the body keeps score and all that shit. Like, my body was just like, yo, your mum died today. And I was like, could have not told me, thanks. Like, I think even now I feel like I should have been more upset about it this whole entire time and still now than I really am. And I feel upset that I don't feel upset, you know? Because in lots of ways my mum was a nice person. Like, she tried really hard to help like random people, and she worked within like various schools and homes and stuff to try and help people, and could be really, really kind to other people. Like, all of my friends always adored my mum because she was so fucking nice to them. And like, I wish that I could have known my mum without her being my mum, you know, because she was lovely. And I'm really sad that that person's dead, but it doesn't feel like I've lost a mother. And finally, before we wrap up, I think one of the like last little bits that really prevents me from feeling like I have closure and sort of keeps it all up in my mind is that I don't know what's happened with anything, you know? Like, did my brother take my mum's cat, or did Jude just end up in like a cattery somewhere? Like, where's Jude? Where's the cat, you know? All the fucking jewellery that my mum's, like, that's the thing as well, is I feel like a lot of it sounds like I'm gold digging it. It's like, well, I couldn't be asked talking to her while she was alive, but I will have her jewellery. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not going to flog it. I just want the fucking Buddha necklace that my dad bought for her because it was this like family thing, you know? Like, I do wish I had something that had been my mother's, like her wedding ring or a necklace that she wore regularly or something like that. And I wish that I knew what had happened to her things. I wish I knew if she still lived, like if my brother was still living in the house that they were living in. I wish I knew all of that kind of stuff. And it bothers me that I don't. But I'm never going to, so we're just gonna have to live with it and deal with it. I know that this video has been quite rambly and just like word vomit, but that's how I feel, you know? That's how I feel about this topic. Everything always sort of just like hits me all at once, and I have to sort of sit and deal with it a bit quick. And then I push it away and don't think about it because it upsets me quite a lot. And I think it also like especially upsets me that so much of it is the what ifs, you know? It's not the actual situation that's upsetting, it's that I feel like I should have gotten better. Like, I'm reluctant to say things like that in videos because I don't want to come across as like super entitled and stuff, but I do think that everyone deserves to have a mum that's nice to them, you know? And I don't want to say I'm bitter that I didn't have that, because I don't feel like that's necessarily the case, but I am. sad, and I do think I deserved it, and it's sad that I'm never gonna get it, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to fucking deal with it. I know this isn't like the most common situation for people to have had, and I know that it's not like the easiest of topics to talk about, but I would appreciate some comments on this one. Anything, fucking anything. I don't care what you have to say. I don't mind if it's about your own experience. I don't mind if it's about how you think you would feel if you went through this. I don't mind if it's just saying like hugs. Like I don't care what it is. I just would like comment on this one. I don't know, I'm begging for them now. God, don't do it. Don't give in to me. No one comment. If this gets a single comment, I'm deleting the whole channel. Whoever I need to promote myself. Follow me. Subscribe before I delete the whole channel. Like the video. You can also follow me over on TikTok, Blue Sky, or Instagram. And you can also find me over on Patreon or Ko-fi. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year. And I will see you again in a couple of days when it's not the day that my mother died.